Hello again, it's Celeste. Today I'm going to talk about a checklist for getting things ready if you have a loved one coming home from a transplant. My husband Paul will hopefully be getting his stem cell transplant in May at some point, so this is coming up very quickly. And I do better if I have a list. And the hospital gave us a booklet of everything that needs to be done in regards to pre and post care for the transplant patient. And one of my responsibilities is making sure the home is ready for when he comes home. And most of this is centered on cleanliness and lack of infectious potential, because when he goes in for the stem cell transplant, they will be giving him massive amounts of chemo to basically wipe out everything, and that'll kind of wipe out his own immune system, and then they give him the stem cells, and then his immune system builds back up with these new cells. So, but that takes a while. So he's going to be in the hospital for a month in an isolation ward, and then when he comes home, we have to make sure that everything in the house is spick and span, ready to go. So there's a bunch of things that need to be done. They recommend having the house cleaned top to bottom, getting the drapes and upholstery and rugs cleaned, the vents cleaned, all that kind of stuff. And the thought of all this was really overwhelming. So I wrote out a little checklist, and I'm going to make that available. I will link it below. And it's just a template, and you can then fill in your specific needs. I'll show you what my list looks like. I'll show you the template, and then I'll also show you my current list. Haven't done nearly enough yet, but I still have time. And while he's in the hospital, that's when I'm going to take care of what I call the dirty jobs, such as getting the vents cleaned, getting the house cleaned top to bottom. I'm going to wait on all that until he's out of the house, and then have some people come in and take care of that. So hold on, and I will show you the checklist. Okay, so here is the checklist, and this is just a generic kind of template that I spoke of a minute ago. And I just put some things on here that I thought were important, and I'll kind of go through this with you. So first, I have the list of dirty cleaning tasks. We want to have the windows washed, the chimney swept, which actually we've already done that, but you'll see that on my list. The duct cleaning, and then this is just a call to set up those appointments, and then when they're completed, I have a checklist. Then we want to have the car vent systems flushed, because post-transplant, even things like molds are no good for the body, and molds can collect in the vent systems of a car, so I want to get the vent system flushed out. I also want to have the cars cleaned and shampooed so that everything is clean, because we will be going back and forth for the first couple of months 2 to 3 times a week. So that's why I want the cars to be very clean on the inside. Then there's the cleaning tasks, which are things like whole house cleaning, upholstery, drapes, to call and set up those appointments, and then when they're done, you can check them off. If there's any furniture that needs to be moved, in our case there were some things that needed to be moved, and I'll show you that on my own list. And then there's certain exterior things that may need to be done. Obviously a big yard cleanup, usually Paul and I would do that together. He does not have the energy for that this year, obviously, so we had some people come to do the spring cleanup. And then the exterior painting, which really needed to be done. We've needed it for a couple of years, and Paul usually does that, or at least he has for the past 2 times. Again, he's not going to be able to do it, so we have hired that out, and that's actually going on right now, this week. Then over here I have a list of things to purchase. We're considering getting a UV light, which will help sanitize things. I don't know if we're going to do that, and none are available now anyway, because they've been bought out on Amazon because of the coronavirus. So that's just something to keep in mind. We wanted to make sure that we had an adjustable bed and a fresh mattress for Paul. We were thinking about renting a hospital bed, which is a viable idea, but we ended up getting him a new bed and a new mattress, and it is adjustable because he may be weak that first 100 days and may need to have the ability to lift up the head of the bed to get out of bed and all that kind of stuff, and just for comfort. We will probably want to get an additional room air filter. We have one in our bedroom, but we don't have them in the room that Paul's going to be in. And then for when people come over, so that they don't drag stuff in from the outside, I thought it would be good to get some shoe racks and then have some clean guest slippers available so people can take off their street shoes and just wander around the house in slippers, keep the floors clean. We're going to need plenty of wipes and mopping cloths, new floor mats, because our current floor mats are very old, and we do wash them in the washing machine, but they look kind of icky and I'd rather just start fresh. We've already gotten a new dog crate mat. We were going to move the dog's crate into the dining room, which is why we bought them now. And as far as what we're going to do with our dog initially, that's still up in the air. We are going to probably have him in a different location than he is now to sleep, but we're still working on that. And we actually, we're also talking about the first month possibly having him go to a boarding place. By this I mean board and train. It's a place he's been to before where he works with the trainers 3 times a day and then gets to play with the other dogs. He really loves it there. We can have a pet in the house post-transplant, but we have to keep Paul away from him, and our dog is very active, and that might be difficult that first month. Then disposable gloves, masks, garden boots, coveralls. We've already gotten the stationary bike, and then I have a space for miscellaneous. And then these are just the check boxes. So what you can do if you want to add a checkbox, you just do Control-C. You highlight the item, do Control-C, move it where you want it, and then do Control-V, and there it is. And then to check off, you can pick whichever check mark you like. I've been using this one. Again, Control-C. And then let's say, okay, so the elliptical we've already gotten, so I'm going to check that one off. So that is the template. And now I'm going to show you my checklist. So we have different things. We have exterior repairs that we needed to have done, things that Paul was unable to finish, things that we felt needed to be done. We had some furniture moved, we did that. There's still some things that need to be done, and actually Paul and I are working on some of this. He's teaching me how. He kind of is my mentor. I'm not the best handyman, but whatever. I have to update this. I haven't checked off. We've done some more things that are on here. And yeah, and then, you know, miscellaneous. We're going to look into the dog boarding. There's another weird little repair. We might get new carpeting on the back porch. That's where we come in from the garden and the dog comes in. We're going to have the dog go in and out through the basement door when Paul comes home. So, you know, we're thinking it's a small area, our back porch, and we're thinking we'll get a new carpet just so it's all nice and clean and we're not dragging anything icky into the house. That's something that has to be done well before he gets home, though, because we don't want to kick up a lot of dust, or if there is dust kicked up, we want it to settle before he gets home. So that's my checklist video. I hope it's helpful. And I have to get going on some of those tasks because we are getting close. You'd be surprised how quickly this comes up. When Paul was first diagnosed and we met with the transplant doctor, it seemed so far off, the date for the transplant, and now it's a little over 2 weeks away if things go according to what we have planned. So I've got to get cracking. Have a good one. Bye.